There we are. Okay, so welcome everyone to 3 common pricing mistakes that are hurting not only your bottom line, but also your customers. So thanks so much for showing up today. As I say, showing up is the first step to success. So high five for you. As I mentioned, we have a ton of content. Get ready to make notes, but also, not just make notes, but listen, because you will get the recording. So listen and be open, because for some of you, maybe there's some new content here that you've not heard before. And so I'm going to ask you to just, be open to this new content. All right. So I know for a fact that it is possible for you to transform your business. I want you to believe it. Because if you don't believe it, then nothing's going to happen. But you also have to do your part, right? I can give you tons of information, but you have to do your part. And I'd like you today to think about what are 2 or 3 things as we go through that you can actually take from today's masterclass and actually implement in your business. So why are you here? Perhaps you're like this lady with her head down on her desk and you have trouble raising your rates. I come across entrepreneurs all the time who haven't raised their rates in years and years and years. And they're afraid of what that will mean, what people will think about them. Or perhaps you don't know how to price your services. It is really tough. All of you on here, from what I can see, are service-based entrepreneurs. How do we price our services? And how do we feel confident about that pricing? Perhaps you also feel your clients don't understand you, or they don't understand the value of what you offer. And so you get into that price comparison perhaps. Or perhaps you're having trouble or difficulty building what I call a predictably profitable business and have some sort of quality of life along the same time. Instead, you would like to feel confident about your value, about the value that you offer to your clients. You also would like to feel in control of your business. So instead of your business running you would like to feel as if you are in control. And thirdly, you'd love to consistently magnetize the right kind of clients. It's not about clients, it's about the right kind of clients, right? So today, this is what we are going to cover. We're going to cover what I call the 3 common pricing mistakes that are actually hurting you and your clients. We are going to figure out how to avoid these pricing mistakes so that you can increase your profitability. I'm going to share with you one formula, just one, that you can use to price your services so that your clients not only get amazing value, but they see the amazing value. And I'm going to share with you case studies with solutions that work consistently. And if you like what you hear today, I'm going to invite you to take advantage of an amazing resource that I have that will help you to continue to build a more profitable business with the quality of life that you desire. So I believe as women entrepreneurs, especially, we want both. We want this profitable business, but we also want a quality of life. And I know that it is possible to earn more without working harder. And I share that with you because I don't know about you, but how many of you grew up with the myth, I'll call it, that success, in order to achieve success, it means you have to work harder. Share with me in the chat if that was something that you grew up with. I know for me, success meant working long, hard hours. And in fact, the first business coach that I ever hired said to me, "Diana, you're just afraid of success." And I said, "Well, what do you mean?" "Well, I was in my 50s when I was starting my coaching business, my late 50s. And to me, I didn't want to work harder. And it took me a while to get over this whole idea that working harder meant success. All right. So Karen says yes, yes, absolutely. All right. Good one. Good one. Then I know that there's some people who think along the same lines that I do, and it is something that I've had to overcome. All right. Here we are. I have a gift for you. If you stay to the end today, it is called the Business Growth Checklist. I'm going to move this out of the way so hopefully you can see. Perfect. And what I mean here is it is really just a checklist with the 3 stages of business growth and how you can win at each stage. And you can actually just go down this checklist and figure out, oh, I have this, I have this, I have this. Oh, I need this, I need that. So I've put it into a checklist because it is the essential foundations that you need to, like a foundation of the house. It's what you need to build on from stage 1 at startup to the other couple of stages. And no matter what stage you want to grow to in your business, you need a good, strong foundation. Okay? All right. I hope it's okay if I share a little bit about who I am. I know that there are some people on here who know me quite well, but there's also some of you who don't know me. I'm better known as the Entrepreneur's GPS, and I help solopreneurs like yourselves build what I call business roadmaps. Just like what a GPS does. If you're at one stage in your business and you'd like to move to stage 2, I help you build a roadmap to get there. I'm also I'll be truthful here, a no-nonsense, get shit done kind of person. I also love learning, but learning also means implementing. It means getting into action. My superpower. What is my superpower? My superpower is I continue to read, to learn, to get coached, to find ways to do things better. And then I take that information, I synthesize it down, and I break it into a step-by-step process so that you can benefit. I have been a mompreneur. I know that some of you out there, how many of you are mompreneurs? In other words, you still are juggling, the kids at home and others trying to build a business at the same time. If you're a mompreneur, say hell yeah. It's, I know what that feels like. I had a retail store at that time. Retail is, a little challenging. I've also been a caregiver to my daughter who was bedridden for 7 years and still trying to grow my business. So if you're a caregiver, somebody says, what's an entrepreneur who cares for their parents? Been there, done that. Yep. And I get it. It is a bit of a juggling act. And so because I understand those things, it's all about doing what you need to do to get really great results. I've also worked, I've also been in network marketing, built a successful business there. I've worked as a marketing consultant for financial advisors. I understand financial advisors. But in the last few years, I have been in your shoes if you are some sort of coach. I have been the struggling coach. But what I share with you today is one of the major strategies that shifted my business totally and has allowed me to help others to shift their businesses. So it is really, truly important that I get your challenges because I want you to get the most from everything that I share with you. So that's a little bit about myself. If you have some other questions, post them in the chat. I'm watching the chat as we go along. I may not be able to get to every question, but I certainly will after we get going. Okay. That's who I am. Before we get started, I want to talk to you a little bit about hustle and what success means to you. And the reason that I spend time on this is because I believe that things are changing today, and especially women entrepreneurs, we're done with hustle. But what does success mean to you? And those people who work with me, we actually work through something that I call a clarity map, but that's not important right now. I want to introduce you to two entrepreneurs. We'll call them, Entrepreneur A and Entrepreneur B for the time being. Entrepreneur A has a 7-figure business, this amazing new office space, staff. She's very highly respected in her community, not only her community, but her business community. This person drives what I call a BAC, a big ass car, right? Signs of her success. This person also has an amazing hobby that they invest just the very best of things into that hobby. So this is Entrepreneur A. Entrepreneur B works 70 hours a week or more. And that means weekends and evenings, rarely taking vacations. So when you meet this person, they have little time for family and friends. They're stressed, they're overwhelmed. And this actual person, their marriage is on the rocks. So their quality of life, kind of questionable. Here's the kicker. Entrepreneur A and Entrepreneur B are actually the same person. They are somebody that I know very well. They have built, this 7-figure business that looks successful in terms of financial, but their quality of life just isn't what she wants. And this woman is typical of many small business owners who've fallen into, that hustle trap. And she's actually built herself a job and doesn't have the quality of life. As you're building your business, my job is to help you get all those things from the Entrepreneur A and to become that CEO of your business so that you have an amazing quality of life. So you might be asking, how do we do that? How do we do both of these things? All right, so I'm going to share with you a triangle. And I call this the success triangle. And you'll notice at the top, I've put quality of life and I've put a dollar sign. It's kind of like we're aiming for the best of the best, right? Now, as entrepreneurs start out, down here at the bottom, they make this decision. They make this decision about becoming an entrepreneur, of starting their own business. And remember how it feels to be so excited and passionate about what you want to do? Well, that's how they start out. What happens next is this. They hustle. And truthfully, this is where the troubles start. The majority of entrepreneurs who start out and have this desire and passion, they rarely have a roadmap. So if I could draw on this, and if you can follow my cursor, they start out and they go over here and they try this and back over here and they try that and they go up here and they kind of look like a squirrel gathering nuts, right? They're going all over the place. Anybody ever done that? I'm sure we all have. And this is what I call spray and pray, right? They're just heading off in all kinds of directions. So the truth of the matter is very few entrepreneurs actually cross this red line. Statistics say that 50% of small businesses fail within the first 4 years. The majority of coaches out there make less than $40,000 a year. And this is statistics from the International Coaching Federation. StatsCan says that 79% of self-employed entrepreneurs earn less than, are you ready? $22,000 a year. Yeah, those are the startling statistics. So how do you get above this line? How do you shift above this line? How do you get out of the hustle? Well, you need 3 actual ingredients, and I'm going to go through each of them. And the first is what I call clarity. It is clarity on what is it that you want up here in terms of dollars, success, and quality of life. What is your definition of success? How many hours a week do you want to work? What vacation time? How much money do you want to earn? And that's what I work with. The first thing whenever I have a client, even in my group program called the Achievers Club, you need this clarity of what you want to achieve. You need that clarity. Okay? Questions? I don't see anything in the chat. All right, second ingredient to get above this line is what I call your DNA. That's right. It is what we call your distinctive natural advantage. This is all about who you are. It's all about playing up to your strengths, actually, it's more than your strengths. And I say your DNA is combined of what I call one is your effortless talent. That is the thing you do so easily that you're undervaluing yourself. It is the thing that clients, friends, family go, oh my God, you do that so easily. How do you do that? Right? That is your effortless talents. And it's the second component of your effortless talents, of your DNA, is your experience. And your experience is 3 things. It's either something you have lived, something you love, or something you have learned. Okay, you have lived it, overcome it, you have loved it, you're just so passionate about it, or number 3, that you have learned it. So a certification, that's what a bookkeeper, right? A bookkeeper does it. So you've probably taken some sort of certification. So we've talked about clarity. We've talked about the DNA, that is who you are. The third ingredient, CRA. And for those bookkeepers, no, it is not the Canada Revenue Agency. The CRA is consistently the right activities. Consistently the right activities. And consistently the right activities for your particular stage of business growth. Because there's actually 4 stages of business growth. And, you know, your CRA is really all about the what. What skills do you need? What business skills? What mindset strategies? What systems do you need in your business to achieve up here what you want, that quality of life? Okay? So here's the question for you. You ready? I don't need to know where you are on this triangle, but do you know where you are? So I would like to ask you to post in the chat box, do you know where you are on this triangle? Are you above the line or below it? Do you have all of those 3 ingredients? Okay. And you just need to say, yes, I know where I am, or no, I don't. So let's see what kind of answers we get for this before we move along. 1 foot above and 1 foot below. Yes, I love it. Thank you. In between. Okay, good. All right. Thank you so much for sharing. You ladies are amazing, amazing. Okay, now we don't have time today to talk about the clarity, the DNA, but what we are going to talk about is this here, the CRA. So let's just shift over here to what I call the business grow meter, which is basically like a thermometer. We're going to talk about this, but if you want more information on this, you can always go to my book and read some more about it. I created this grow meter because what I found with entrepreneurs was that when they started out, when they were in that decision phase or they're moving up into that hustle phase, they go, oh my God, there's so many things I need to do. There's so many things I need to do in my business, and I don't know where to start. I get that question all the time. And so the truth of the matter is there are certain things that you need at each stage, and the rest, like just let it go kind of thing. The grow meter, we're going to start. Newbies need to learn, what it is down at that stage 1. Existing businesses need to hear it and need to continually tweak their stages. Because if you don't have the fundamentals, that's when you're chasing your tail. Okay? So let's talk about stage 1. Stage 1 I call the glorified employee. And this is when you start out and probably you have little or no business experience, no marketing system, no sales process. And it's like you think, oh my God, there's so much to learn, there's so much to do. And it really feels like a job. Maybe you even start questioning yourself about why am I doing this? Well, the truth of the matter at stage 1, there's 3 things to focus on. 3 things, that's all. Connections. So who are you connecting with out there in the real world? The second is cash. You got to get some cash in to keep your business going. And the third is what I call validation. You've got to validate that what you have to sell is saleable. And this is what happens in this stage. And the core skills that you need are things like basic messaging, your first lead magnet, your signature system, creating baseline revenue, starting to put together a marketing system that might involve maybe networking, testimonials. You need some sales and some follow-up systems. And yes, you need a simple 1-page website. And the problem I see here is that entrepreneurs, when they start out, they go, but I need a tagline. I need a fancy website. I think I should be doing podcasts, maybe paid social media, maybe a book. No, you don't. Okay? It's all about getting out there and validating what it is that you're doing, making sure that there's a market for it and that your message is clear so that you're actually getting clients. And just like any thermometer, as you're moving on up, so to speak, you kind of shift into the next stage when you're, and this is just a ballpark, maybe about 5,000 a month, and consistently. And this is when like your one-on-one calendar is full. You have as many one-on-one clients as you want. Things are coming in consistently. Okay? So this stage, stage 1, I help people in this stage with my group program called the Achievers Club. We help them shift through this stage and get ready for the next stage, stage 2, which is what I call manager. And everybody knows what a manager is. I'm sure that most of you here on this call have been an employee at some time and you have a manager. And the manager's in charge of running a team. That's what stage 2 is about. Okay? This is when you've got your marketing nailed. You have a compelling message and your dream clients, they're just magnetized for you. You've figured out a sales process so that you get consistent conversions. And you may even be at this stage when you're making lots of money and you have no time to spend it. Okay? You know then that this is the time to shift into the 3 things for the manager stage. 3 things. Leverage. So how can you leverage the one-on-ones, maybe into a group? How can you delegate? And how can you create systems? Those are the three things that you need for this stage. So some of the skills that you might learn might be about speaking, because in stage 1, I tell people networking is the way to go. Well, networking is meeting people one-on-one. At the manager level, you want to leverage your time. So speaking is a great way to leverage your time. So imagine going to a networking, instead of meeting, 10 people, if you're lucky, speak to them, and then you're impacting everyone that is there. So speaking mastery. You shift into group programs, perhaps have multiple lead magnets. Systems, you're growing that email list. That is one of the systems. Some of the other systems that you want to put in place is you want to document the systems that you have. Okay? So, and if you're at this stage, the program that I have for people is what I call the CEO Accelerator, because we want to accelerate you into stage 3. At this stage, when you're ready to shift, from this stage, from manager, so, you're here at 5K, you shift to manager, you want to shift up to the CEO, maybe it's about 10K a month. Let's talk quickly about the next 2 stages. The CEO. This is where you're actually working to build a business that will run without you, an asset that you can sell. And this is about focusing on expansion, sales, and leadership. So remember entrepreneur A, B, right? This person had not built a business to run without her. And so she hadn't done that from down here up to these stages, okay? So the skills here that people need to learn are managing a bigger team, scalable programs, funnels and videos and webinar mastering, and maybe there's some up-leveling of the brands, etc. What is legacy? Legacy is where you have multi-million-dollar businesses. Last night I was on a training with a woman who has a $6 million coaching business. And I went, holy geez. Now, I have no aspirations for building a 6-figure business, but I'd like to ask you, each one of you, do you know where you are on the Grow Meter? And do you know where you want to go? So it's actually 2 questions. So let's take a little bit of time. Where are you? And do you know where you want to go? So you don't have to tell me the stage that you're at, but just tell me that you know where you are and you know where you want to go. That would be useful for me. Yes. Yes and yes. Okay. Yes and yes. All right. Good. So the reason that this is important is because what we are going to talk about here, the pricing that we're going to talk about, is how we build our business to make it profitable. And if we don't know what we want to build, then what are we doing, right? It's like if we don't know what kind of house we want to build, the architect is really going to have trouble creating the plans. And I hope you get that analogy, okay? All right, are you where you want to be? So are you where you want to be in terms of on that Grow Meter? Is there anyone who is exactly where they want to be? I'm guessing probably not. Otherwise, why would you be on this webinar? No, you're not exactly where you want to be. Awesome. All right. Thank you for being forthright. All right, let's look at these 3 pricing mistakes. And as we go through them, I'd like you to think about which one resonates the most with you. And as I said earlier, be open to some new concepts. And instead of, or maybe you catch yourself saying, well, this won't work for my business. Instead of saying that, letting your inner critic say that. I'll ask you to say, how could it work for my business? And how could this work for my business? Because I've seen dramatic shifts in all kinds of businesses: wellness coaches, nutritionists, physio, bookkeepers, accountants, life coaches, virtual CFOs, intuitives, stylists, all those kinds of people. What I'm going to share with you works. So there isn't a person on this call that some of these changes won't work for. Okay? All right, here we are. Pricing mistake number 3. I'm going to get a sip of water. Not raising your prices regularly. And you notice we're going to go in reverse order. The biggest one is for the end. So if you're not raising your prices regularly, you're actually, I'd say self-doubt is actually sabotaging you. You're not raising your prices regularly because there's something going on in your head, that itty bitty shitty committee that says, I don't think I can, nobody went, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, well, tell that itty bitty shitty committee that you've got this and you can raise your prices. So here are some signs that you might be ready to raise your prices. You have a hunch that it might be time, right? You're listening to your gut, and every once in a while something comes up and goes, maybe I should. Number 2 is you resent clients taking up too much time. And when I was talking to a different group about this, I saw some people actually nodding their heads, and they go, oh yeah, I'm really resenting that this client seems to take up more time than should. Or another, sign that you're ready to raise your prices is maybe clients or even colleagues have said, yeah, you need to raise your prices. The 4th is you might be overbooked with clients. Maybe you got too many clients, but you're still not earning the type of money that you want. Well, that's a huge hint. You have a waiting list. I have a client who was telling me that they had a waiting list, and I went, well, time to raise your prices. She goes, well, what do you mean? Well, it's not that you want to be greedy. Let's not go there. But certainly people are obviously willing to pay that price. So you could raise your prices. Or, maybe you just haven't raised them in 6 months or a year. Okay? These are signs. Any of these resonate with you on the line? So is there somebody who says, oh yeah, okay, somebody says absolutely. Perfect. Thank you for sharing that. I just want to know that you're still alive out there. Okay. You see, the thing is that the longer you're in business, the better you get at doing what you do. So you are worth more. The longer you do, because let's say there's bookkeepers online here. The longer you do bookkeeping, you can do it faster, you can do it better, you can spot problems faster, right? Or we have an interior decorator here. The more she does this, the quicker and easier it becomes. Your time is more valuable. But here's the thing. Not raising your prices is often related to what we call a money set point. So what is a money set point? A money set point is the amount of money you're willing to pay for an individual product or service. And it used to be that people thought that we had one money set point, but we have a money set point for every product or service. So great examples are, for instance, water, bottled water, or we can get it free from the tap, or we can pay, $7 a bottle for something, fancy smanchy. What are you willing to pay? Coffee is another one. You can brew coffee at home, put it in your thermos, or on the way to wherever you're going, you can stop and get a, fancy smanchy Starbucks for I don't know, $5 or $7. What's your money set point for coffee? A hotel room is another thing. You know, would you spend $25 on a hotel room? I'd probably not. $250? $500. Whichever it is, that's your money set point for that particular product. So, the solution to not raising your prices is, first of all, realize you don't have to serve rich people to be well paid. And this is related to money set point, okay? And I'll share a story with you. One of my business coaches, her husband manufactures, or crafts is more like it, harps, you know, the musical instrument. And one year he decided to produce a very specific special harp. And part of this high-end product was that he would deliver it directly to people's homes. So the story goes that, you know, one day he's ready to deliver this harp and he gets in his vehicle, he's got the harp in there and he punches in the GPS coordinates. And as he's getting closer to the destination, like really close to the destination, he turns into, I call it a trailer park. I don't know what you would call it, but, you know, mobile homes. And he goes, this can't possibly be the right place. And he goes, but this is the address I have. So he drives a little further. He turns into the driveway of, you know, a mobile home. And in the back, you know, he's delivering this very, very, very expensive custom-made harp. He goes, well, I have no choice but to go up to the door and, you know, ask. Maybe I've got the directions wrong. So he knocks on the door and he introduces himself as, you know, so-and-so. I'm delivering this harp. And the woman jumps up and down. She reaches out, she grabs him, and she's so excited. She goes, oh, you're here. I can't wait. My harp. This woman paid $30,000 for a harp. She's not rich, but her money set point for that particular item, she was willing to pay for. So realize you don't have to be rich. You don't have to serve rich people, to get well paid. All right? Nicole's writing something here. I'm going to read it. Yes, we can't make assumptions. That's right. All right, solution number 2. Realize that you don't have to be willing to pay that price for your services, because your money set point for your services and somebody else's money set point for your services could be very different. And the thing is that what comes easily to you is what people are willing to pay for, okay? And it is the thing that you probably discount the easiest. So what comes easily to you? Well, you know, I could do my own bookkeeping. It takes me forever. It doesn't come easily. I don't do it often, so I struggle with it. My time is better spent hiring a bookkeeper who can do it quicker and a better job, because that is their expertise, right? So realize that you don't have to be willing to pay your price for your services. And the side note to this is, remember that there's always someone willing to pay for luxury, a luxury item. 20% actually are the statistics. So, you know, there's always somebody willing to fly first class, right? They're usually full. Well, it's the same for your services. So, do you have a luxury version to offer your clients? Because if you don't have one, you can't offer it. All right. Number 3, raise your prices incrementally. What would it mean to raise your prices, I don't know, 10%, $10 an hour? What would it mean? Well, it would actually have a huge impact on your bottom line, wouldn't it? That means just a bit more profit. when I had a retail store and I was selling, I don't know, I'll say a candle, if I could increase that price to the customer by just a few cents, it would mean a huge impact to the bottom line of my business. And the other thing is, each time you raise your prices and you go, oh, somebody actually paid me that amount, then you gain confidence in your value. So I remember somebody when I was starting out coaching, I was charging $300 an hour, $300 a month, for coaching. And I met someone and we were having, just a girl talk. And she goes, Dana, you should be charging like $10,000. And I went, oh, God, I thought, okay, here's a mindset, my own mindset issue. And I remember going out and raising my price, and then somebody paid for it. Then I went, oh, well, they paid for that. So can I raise my price again? Just incrementally. What could you do incrementally? So I want to share with you my friend Sandra. Sandra is a stylist, which is a done with you service. She didn't believe that her clients would pay a large ticket price. But funny story is, so she met me at one of my live events in Montreal. And as I was talking about raising prices, she was sitting there with her computer and actually raising her prices on her computer. Not that I would recommend that, but she did raise her prices several times. But the biggest impact for her came when she created a signature program. That's when her business exploded. You see, she, as a stylist, she would have these great lulls in her business. People would think about, okay, in the spring, I need some summer clothes, and in the fall, I need some winter clothes. So there's this big, ebb and flow. And I said, but if you think of your best customer, your very best customer, how much would they pay you over the course of a year? And she said, well, my best customer probably pays somewhere, total over a year, about $10,000. I went, okay. So we worked to create a signature program for $10,000. And yes, people bought it. People bought it because she talked about the results of this program. Anyway, we're going to talk more about this. And for her, it was about shifting her mindset and shifting what she offered and explaining the value. So you might be saying, what the heck is a signature program? Well, this is where I want you to be a little open. It will work for your business. It worked for my business, and it will work for any business. The signature program is this. This is where we take your DNA, your distinctive natural advantage, combine it with the best work that you do. Not all the work you do, the best work you do. And we package it into a program that provides extraordinary value to your clients and takes up less of your private time. And your dream clients, those very best ones, are happy to pay top dollar for. Okay, so it's a combination of things. A signature program is not packaging together 5 to 10 sessions and selling them at some discounted rates. Now, I see this very often in people who come from the background of the fitness industry. And maybe they've become wellness coaches. And so their tendency is to do this. A signature program is not a low ticket item that you just package and sell online, because that isn't going to work. And a signature program, this is the big one, isn't just in your head. It is written out clearly, whether it is in a brochure, whether it is on a website, but it is written out clearly so that your dream client understands the value. You can actually walk them through it. Signature program is Yes, it's your process, because every individual, whether you're a financial advisor, whether you are an accountant, whether you are whatever business you're in your head, you go through the same process every single time with every client. Now, it might be faster, it might be slower, but you can add additional, what we call evergreen resources. And these are things that, like videos and audios and PDFs and checklists, that go hand in hand with your one-on-one work. So evergreen resources are those things that you say over and over and over again to this, almost every single client. You say it over and over again to your dream client. Signature program is results driven. And if you listen to me at all, I'm going to talk about three things: results, results, results. For those of you who, sometimes life coaches come to me and they go, but Diana, the result is, you're happier. Well, how can you quantify that? You have to make your results tangible, because tangible results are what people actually can grab onto. Okay, that's what they actually want. And it may take some time for some of you to dig down and drill down to what are results. Okay. Here's an example. Each one of you, I believe, is what I call a transformational entrepreneur. You help people transform their lives, their businesses, their homes, whatever it happens to be. And I once had this client who was a professional organizer. Her specialty was organizing people's offices. And I asked her, what are the results? And she says, well, it's more neat and it's more organized. Yes, but what does that mean? Okay, what does that mean? Go deeper. And what we finally figured out is that it allows people to save time when your office is more organized. Well, how much time? Oh, so she did some research and found out that there was kind of a industry standard, and a well-organized office actually helps you save 10 hours a week. Well, holy smokes. Who doesn't want to save 10 hours a week? So it wasn't so much about the feeling good and having things, nicely organized, but saving 10 hours a week, now that's something I can grab onto. That's something I can actually understand. Okay, results driven. Here's the thing, when you don't have a signature program, this is when you end up in that hustle zone. That's when you end up selling based on what I call your modality. Now, this is your modality is, if you're Reiki master, well, Reiki is your modality. What is your modality? A bookkeeper. Your modality is bookkeeping. But you need to sell the results. And you get feeling frustrated as to why people aren't buying when you don't have a signature program. And it leads to that you don't really get the success, that quality of life, or the financial rewards that you really want. A signature system is what has helped me transform my business, and has helped many, many, many of my clients truly shift their businesses, not only for financial success, but also that quality of life. Okay, here we go. She says, mistake number 2, too many low ticket offerings. So I find a lot of entrepreneurs, they're, in that hustle zone, they go, I can't get clients to purchase this particular offering, workshop, seminar, consultation. So I'll just create another one. And then I'll just create another one, and I'll just create another one, right? Well, there are some problems with that. There are 3 problems, actually. Creating new programs or consistently creating new programs waste time. Now I'm going to get into each of these three problems. The second is it diminishes your brand, and the third is you end up with low commitment clients. So let's take the first one. Problem number one, always creating, means that you're in creation mode and you're not marketing and selling. And you may go, well, here's what. There are 5 core entrepreneurial tasks. You have admin and operations. So those are the things that we have to take care of, such as our bookkeeping, such as sending out invoices, etc. We have customer service. We have customer fulfillment. That's actually when you're working with the clients, marketing and sales. And the 5th is business growth and development. Now, these two over here, admin and customer service, are things that, yes, we have to do them. And yes, when we start out, we all have to do them. But our goal is to make more money so that we can actually delegate these out. And that's what gives us the freedom. So that's what we have to work towards. Marketing and sales and business development are actually what I call revenue generating activities. These are activities where you should be spending 80% of your time. Marketing and sales, business growth and development. So I think you know what I mean by marketing. It's what is driving customers to your door. Sales conversations are actually inviting people in. Business growth and development is about big picture planning, about learning. So today is called, a business development time. The problem that I see is here. On the left, I see marketing and sales, and people are spending a small amount when they start out in marketing and sales, a small amount of time in business growth and development, and they are spending the majority of their time here in admin and operations. But it needs to be reversed, turned on its head. Okay? If you want to build a predictably profitable business, that's where you need to spend your time. Marketing and sales and big picture planning, moving your business forward. So I hope that that is the solution for the first problem. The problem number 2 is low ticket offerings actually diminish your brand. So if you're continuously offering, a $25 workshop or whatever it happens to be, to me, it's like the story of Walmart versus Tiffany's. They both sell jewelry. Who do you want to be? They both sell jewelry. What does your brand stand for? If you want to create a profitable business, then you have to create more profit. Walmart is based on selling what? Lots of volume. Well, I don't know about you, but I don't have time for lots of volume. I would rather be Tiffany's and make more profit on one item than multiple items. Okay? So it affects your brand, what people perceive about you. Problem number 3 is what I call low commitment clients. Perhaps you've ever bought 2 books. Let's say one is, $10, and for argument's sake, one is $100. If you had 2 books like that, which would you read first? Typically, it's the $100 book because there's more skin in the game, right? Have you ever offered your programs for free or for exchange or for a very low amount? Well, it's been my experience. Yes, I used to do that. But then I found out that 90% of the time people don't finish the program because they didn't actually, pay for it. And when you are offering low priced items, you get low commitment clients. Anybody ever done this? Yeah, you can raise your hand and All right, so what is the solution to low ticket? Is a signature program with an upsell and a downsell eventually. So let me explain what I mean here. A signature program is something you're going to create once and then tweak it, sell it again and again. And you build your brand around selling this high ticket item. And you become known for that particular thing. Okay. So think of it as, let me just go back here. If you want to think of it like this, especially for those of you who are perhaps bookkeepers, instead of thinking of it as a signature program with an upsell and a downsell, think of it as 3 buckets for your programs. You have a low ticket offering, a medium ticket offering, and a high ticket offering. The signature program is that medium, your downsell is a low, and your high is the upsell. So for me, I have my signature program is my Achievers Club. My downsell is an online, course that I have called Marketing Magic. Okay. And then I have an upsell from my Achievers Club, which I call Achievers Platinum, where you get actually some of my private time in a group program. So I can almost hear those of you who are on the line going, but Diana, really? I can't sell a $250 consultation. So how do you expect me to sell, maybe a $2,500 signature program? The thing is that, remember, a signature program is based on results. Results, results, results. And if you think of, in terms of weight loss, what would you rather buy if you were, in the market for weight loss? Would you rather buy 3 weight loss consultations or a signature program that says lose 25 pounds without dieting, even if you've tried everything else? The penny has just dropped. Okay, Janet. All right. Awesome. So I want to share with you, this is Frances. Frances has a done with you wellness service. So she is actually a naturopath and a holistic nutritionist. Originally, she was offering single or multiple consultations, $200 each time. Clients came in for 1 to 3 sessions, or they might come once a month for maintenance. But she was really, really frustrated with her business. She had that old feast and famine. People rarely came in for the whole transformation. And she felt like her clients weren't getting what they should. Okay? She didn't believe that her clients would buy into a big ticket offering. So, if you're there, then that's okay. I get it. So we did create a signature program, and it included all kinds of extra bonuses, kitchen audits, meal plans, and it focused on the tangible result that her clients wanted. It actually wasn't losing weight, but her clients had stomach and gut issues. Losing weight was a side issue. So what was top of mind for them were, for instance, heartburn or acid reflux, etc. And so her signature program was based on that. She went from selling, consultations one-on-one to $2,500 programs. And she was thrilled. She was thrilled, and so were her clients. So here's an example. I took this straight from her website of the 3 buckets, if you will. So she had over here on the left, the Do It program. And, she details out exactly what it is. Then she had her most popular, right? And then she had her upsell. So 3 buckets, 3 different offerings. And people, if you indicate which is the most popular, People will typically buy the most popular. So Francis says, my whole business shifted once I started working with Diana. I went from hourly to premium signature program, much more consistent income, because typically a signature program is over X number of months and people can pay monthly. So it develops a baseline revenue. And she said here, the clients who were fun to work with. So those low commitment clients, they disappeared. And for her, that was a huge thing. Okay, pricing mistake number one. Now, I know you've been sitting here for a while. Thank you so much. Do you need to stand up and stretch? Maybe you need to do a happy dance. And, you know, if you were live at one of my events, we would actually stand up and dance. Okay, pricing mistake number one is pricing by the hour, the session, or by the month. And again, this is the biggest mistake I see in coaching and in the wellness industry, but it also in lots and lots of other industries. Problem with this, there's 4 problems. And I'm going to go through each of them. One, it's harder to sell by the hour. Believe me, it is. It's perceived as being too expensive. The cap on your earnings, and you always seem to be on the cash flow roller coaster. So let's go one by one. Pricing by the hour is harder to sell. Why is it harder to sell? Because you're selling a unit of time. People are thinking about, okay, the time that they are sitting in front of you, or the time it takes you to do the work. They are not thinking about the results. Okay? So, as I mentioned earlier, weight loss. Do you want 6 sessions of weight loss, or fit into your skinny jeans in 3 months, even if you've tried every other diet out there? Right? Results. What results? So, bookkeepers. You know, I don't know who your exact clients are, but I had a bookkeeper once, and, you know, she offered a program. She worked, I think most of her clients were in the construction industry, and it was, you know, stay out of CRA jail. So what did that mean? It meant that she would do their quarterly reporting to the CRA. Okay, much better than saying, well, it's going to take me, you know, X number of dollars to, or X number of hours to do this or that. And when we compare it on time, that's when we get into the whole comparison issue. Because pricing by the hour, it is perceived to be too expensive. Very often, right? When we price by the hour, we need to include our overhead costs. Now, for most of you who are, I shouldn't make that assumption, but our overhead costs, you know, might include space, time, education, staff, et cetera, et cetera. For service-based entrepreneurs who work from home, you know, there's not a lot of overhead, but there still is overhead. And it means that in order to make a reasonable income, you may have to charge hundreds of dollars an hour. Well, your client's going to go, well, why should I be paying for your overhead? Right? They're thinking that way. Why do you need to justify to cover your admin, your marketing time, your education? No, you shouldn't. Creating a signature program is selling the result that your dream client wants, and that has value. Problem number 3, pricing by the hour, month, or session. It puts a cap on your earnings. I mean, we all know how many hours in a week. How many hours are you willing to work? Well, it puts a ceiling on how much money you can actually make. So don't do this because I have a feeling that most of you would like to make more money and work less. The problem number 4 is pricing by the hour. You always feel that you're on this cash flow roller coaster, right? Feast or famine. I got to get out there, got to find a new client. Got to get out there, find a new client. That's the hustle mode, right? And it's because there is no baseline revenue. There's no baseline revenue. When you have a signature program and clients are committed for maybe 3 months, maybe 4 months, whatever, wherever and however you get the best results, then, you know, they can pay you over a monthly amounts. That's when you create really true baseline revenue. So here is a case study of my friend Donnie, who is actually an intuitive. And Donnie actually coaches people into shifting their limiting beliefs. And when I met her at my live event in Montreal, she came up on stage for this hot seat coaching, and she said, Diana, I have no time for marketing. I'm like, what? She said, yeah, my schedule is full of clients. I go, well, okay. But she wasn't earning enough and she was exhausted. So she had no time for marketing, planning, or growth. She's working 6 days a week and not earning enough. She was a single parent as well. So we very quickly looked at things, and what she wasn't doing is she was charging people by the session, and she was selling that as a package. But we examined exactly what she did, and we outlined on paper the value that she was providing. We repackaged it and repriced it into a signature system, which allowed her to immediately double her rates. Now, by walking the prospect through her signature system, they actually saw the value. And the result for her was, instead of working 6 days a week, she cut back to 5 days a week. Now, that allowed her some more consistency, and Donnie actually, kept repricing her signature system as she got the confidence that it would actually work for her. So I just want to stress one more time that a signature program is the foundational element in a revenue roadmap for a predictably profitable business. Again, create it once, easily scaled from one-to-one to one-to-many, helps you create valuable results. You become better and better at delivering those results. That is the amazing thing, okay? It sells easier because it's based on results. It creates baseline revenue and eliminates feast and famine, attracts committed and fun clients, and helps you create money to invest back into your business, because no business succeeds without investment. It also allows you to get out of this exhausting trading dollars for hours, and that's where you risk the burnout. No more stress month to month, wondering if clients see value in working with you, and no more sharing the same information over and over and over again. You turn that into something that is evergreen. So we have talked about these 3 pricing mistakes. We've talked about how to avoid them. Now, I know that there's some people who've dropped off, and that is okay. But I would like to share with you one method that you can use to price your services. Okay? Still here. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So here's a method to price your services. And again, be open. Business basics is that you've got to price your services more than your cost, right? I hope most of you know what your cost of doing business is. Basically, when you price, it's, you figure out a dollar value, a price, you minus or subtract your cost of doing business, and you come up with a profit, right? But when you price at your cost, that's when you're cheating yourself and your clients. So you're cheating your clients because they're getting tremendous value But if they aren't seeing the whole value, right? If they're not seeing the whole possibility of the whole transformation, that's when you're cheating them. And that's when you're cheating your bottom line. You see, because transformation is priceless. I'll share with you a very quick story about my daughter, okay? My daughter was bedridden for 7 years with something called chronic fatigue syndrome, okay? And eventually we found a solution, and that solution was taking her to England for a 3-day training course, okay? That 3-day training course was probably, I'm going to say, $3,000. And yes, it cost us to take her to England, et cetera, et cetera. But the results were that she got her life back. That transformation was priceless. Okay? Let's think about what the transformation, the real transformation is that you offer your clients. So I'd like you to shift your perspective. I'd like you to shift from going pricing at your cost, okay, to thinking about what is the perceived value that my client gets or could get. Okay? What is the perceived value? So let's price a different way. Remember we talked about perceived value. Okay. Perceived value. So if I was going to say that, the perceived value of my daughter's training that she took, could I put a price on it? No, but maybe I would say it was maybe $30,000. The price to us was something else, and what was the cost to deliver that program, right? So let's look at this slide here. Let's say, as I said, the perceived value for us, for my daughter to get her life back, was $30,000. The cost to us, or the price to us, was $3,000. The cost to deliver it to the person, that trainer, may have been $1,000. May have been $1,000. Now, when I look at this price here, the $3,000, do I think I'm getting a really good deal? Of course I do. Of course I do. So when you price somewhere between the cost to deliver and the perceived value, then your clients feel they're getting a great deal. Then you're not cheating your clients. Okay? Any questions about this? I know I'm going through it really quickly. But just think of what is the perceived value to your client for what you do. Thanks, Nicole. All right. So here's a case study, Lorraine. Lorraine has a business called Build Better Brains. It's a done-with-you service, so consultants, trainers, coaches. It's a highly specialized support for children. I've known 2 people who do the same thing. And originally she was offering these free consultations where she was trying to sell an extremely complex process, which few people understood. And she started talking about, neuro-linguistic programming and changing the child's brain. And I went, who wants their kid's brain changed? No. She wasn't charging enough and certainly not being paid for her expertise, and was spending far too much time doing something that actually wasn't valued. We worked together and made an incredible change to her business. She designed a signature system that communicated the value of what she could deliver. So she actually helps struggling students become star students. And, if you've ever had a child who struggles at school, it's not just the results, on their report card, but there's that whole ripple effect. So think of your clients. What is the ripple effect of their problem? So then we designed a signature system that has a result. They become a star student. They get better grades. They increase their grade level by X, Y, and Z. She priced her work appropriately as a signature system, sold the results. And here's the kicker. She charged much more, and people said yes much more easily when they understood the results. So here's the kinds of things that she included in her signature system. A personalized binder. There was asset assessments where people could monitor the process. There was handouts, and she walked them through the benefits and the how-tos. There was additional items that enhanced the training, including, nutritional support, recipes. There was specialized computer programs, private time, email access to her. She laid it all out in her signature system. Now, Lorraine is a part-time teacher. She went from offering free consultations to paid consultations. She went from offering her program, which was $1,500, to $2,500. Okay. This is what she said. I've increased my clients 5-fold as of this summer, going to the Caribbean to celebrate my success. And as a proud mom of Lorraine, almost, I felt like, oh my God, how amazing was this? And for her, this was huge, right? It was huge to be able to do this kind of thing. So, are you ready to see results like this? And what would it mean for you and your family? I mean, Lorraine, it meant that she was going, and her hubby were going to take a trip to the Caribbean. What could it mean for you to 5 times your business? 3 times, twice? What could it mean? I want you to think about it for a second. Maybe even share in the chat. What would you like to do if you could change your business like some of these case studies? What would it mean for you? My time. Yep. Travel. Cool. Yeah. If you can earn more income without working longer and harder, right? That's what I think the entrepreneurs that I speak to want to do. Because not only do I want you to get results like this, but I know that it's possible, right? 4 times your sales, 5 times the number of clients, reduce the working days, adding joy into her business, right? It's possible. And I promised you at the beginning, I have a resource to help make this possible for you. So I have my group program called the Achievers Club, which is basically 5 steps to 5K months. For those of you who are remember the Grow Meter, if you're in stage 1 of your business, or, kind of going back and forth between stage 1 and stage 2, then the 5 steps that we have are clarify, design, price, and sell, and market a signature program. But it's also about the focus and the feedback. And I want to walk you through these modules, because even if you don't take advantage of this resource, I want you to know what it is you need and what to look out for, because I've seen so many people get really, really, really excited about, creating a signature program, and they try it on their own, and truthfully, they only get marginal results. So let's see, here we are. In the Achievers Club, we're going to clarify. And the first step is we're going to clarify using your DNA, your distinctive natural advantage. How are you going to differentiate yourself from every bookkeeper, from every interior designer? Passion isn't enough. We're going to find out who your signature tribe is, those hot buyers. specify these particular goals that you want to meet. And probably one of the most important things is craft your compelling marketing message. Now, when you get this section right, this is how you build momentum. This is how you increase visibility and all those yeses. But when you get it wrong, that's where I see entrepreneurs stuck at that $25,000 to $30,000 mark, and they just don't move past it. There's a number of bonuses here in this section. So the first thing, when people join the Achievers Club, they get the Clarity Map, which is a document for them to work through so you can define your definition of success. You also get Marketing Magic, the online course that helps you clarify your message so that when we start and when we are going through the Achievers Club, you have some of that work already done, and then you can get the feedback that you need. Step 1 is clarify. Step 2 is about designing your signature program. And, you know, for some of you, maybe it's not a signature program, but what is that bucket? What does that bucket look like? Where that medium-sized bucket. And I'm going to walk you through step-by-step how to organize your content. What to include, what not to include, okay? How to package it, what to include for bonuses and what not to include. When you get this right, you've got an offering that you are well paid for and also can lead to multiple streams of income. But when you get it wrong, and believe me, I've done this, too much content overwhelms the client. And in this section, you have a number of bonuses about naming, examples of signature programs, topics, and something called the Tech Made Easy Guide, about the things that, you know, what kind of technology do you need in your business at this stage to help you move along. Step number 3, price your signature program. Today we talked about one way to price, but I'm going to talk about 3 other ways and the criteria that you need. When you get it right, you get paid for what you're worth. When you get it wrong, this is when you end up working way too hard and you're under earning. The bonuses for this are a pricing guide. You bookkeepers might laugh, but I also include a sales and expense template. It's an Excel program, but for many of my clients who are just starting out, this is enough, okay? So that is also included. Okay, selling. How to sell. Yes, we have to learn how to sell. It is not something that, well, most of us weren't born with, but you already do it. You sell to your husband, you sell to your kids, you sell to everybody. But how do you sell a high-ticket item so that it feels authentic for you? Well, what I teach is what I call a customer selling system. And customer, it just means that each of those letters stands for something. And this system has been proven to help people increase their conversions and find their perfect fit client. So when we get this right, we eliminate that, you know, icky, pushy, salesy feeling that we sometimes get, right? And when we get it wrong, that's when we feel frustrated and the self-doubt comes up. In this section, that we have bonuses for overcoming objections. So teach you how to overcome objections, but also what I call a sales enrollment conversation or a discovery session guide. Okay, how do you go about moving from going to a networking event to actually getting an actual customer? And the last is how to market your signature system. And I teach you how to implement a 5-step customer roadmap or client roadmap. Okay, 5 steps. We set up a system to market your program that fits with your DNA. I mean, if you're an introvert and, you know, the thought of doing Facebook Lives just like kind of turns your stomach, well, that's not the place we're going to start, right? But I'm going to teach you how to craft a lead magnet, because I believe everyone needs a lead magnet. It is a great tool, even if You're not worrying about online, but it is a great tool when you are networking. When you get it right, you stay focused on marketing that converts for you. So over the years, I have learned that speaking is my best marketing tool. I'm not saying that that's where I started, but that's where I am now, okay? When you get it wrong, you get distracted by what I call bright, shiny objects, or spray and pray. Oh, should I be on Pinterest, or should I be on Instagram, or you know? I know. So the bonuses here are what a simplified marketing schedule. And that's exactly it. Simplified. Pack your marketing with testimonials. Testimonials are your silent salesman. A networking guide, a way to follow up. I have a whole webinar in there on how to follow up successfully. How to create your first website. It's a guide. And the last is a signature program delivery map. How are you going to actually deliver your signature program, and how are you going to map it out? That is the Achievers Club. For those of you who are at stage 1 and just moving into stage 2. If you are at stage 2 and want to move into stage 3, then reach out to me and we'll talk about the CEO Accelerator, which is about accelerating you to the next step. So if you're like my clients, it's your time to wake up every single freaking day knowing that your calendar is filled with dream clients. It's also your time to turn your DNA into a product, program, or service that allows you to reach and serve more people, and to stop freaking trading, dollars for hours. It's also your time to increase the profits so that you can actually build a strong support team, and that support team takes care of the busy work so that you can free up your time and have that quality of life, have that travel, whatever it is that you want, more me time, going to yoga daily, whatever it happens to be. If you're like my clients, you want to stop the hustle, you want to work less, have a great quality of life, have some time for friends and family, and you want to have a really, a plan. How are I going to do this? Instead of, feeling like you're on a roundabout. Everyone knows what one of those roundabouts is, and you feel like you're going around and you try a road and it doesn't work, or you go around and you come back to the roundabout and you never get off. Yeah, I don't want that for you. You do have the power to grow a profitable and sustainable business and create a great quality of life. The big question is for you, will you utilize this system and tap into the power to shift your business and your life? Well, you've actually started the process today. But you've got 2 choices here, right? You've got 2 choices. You're at a crossroads, so you can do one of 2 things. Bootstrap it alone. So what do I mean by that? It means, maybe someday you'll see success, or you'll keep hustling, or you'll keep, feeling like you're on that never-ending hamster wheel of going around and around and doing things the slow, hard way. Or you can work with me. A proven step-by-step system. I showed you case studies of people today. There are lots of other people who've done similar things. And join a tribe of small business owners who, as I say, get more shit done, make more money, and have more free time. The doors are open to the Achievers Club. And I'm going to type this link into the chat if I can here. We are, okay. Type the message. So it is www.dianalidstone.com/Achievers. I've got to move this out of the way. Okay. So the doors are open. And I know some of you are going, well, yeah, okay, Diana, that's fine. But, what the heck is the Achievers Club exactly? So this is the Achievers Club. It is a virtual program online, just like Zoom, but we actually see each other. Small groups, 6 to 7 max. We do 3 Zoom recorded calls a month. So if you can't make it, we record it. We always start by sharing our successes. You know, what was your roadblock? Get some hot seat coaching. But I love groups like this because there's this mastermind synergy that happens, and there's the feedback. You also get access to the business library, which is basically a secret page on my website filled with scripts, templates, and guides, all those bonuses that you saw, plus, plus, plus. You get access to Marketing Magic, which is an online course. There is a Facebook group where we ask, people ask questions, and you also get what I call that forever access to the content. So how does it work? You simply register online. You'll be sent a quick start clarity map, then the list of dates and times, access to the calls, and we actually have our first call scheduled for October 9th, which is next week. And that's what we're going to do. So there's probably about $20,000 worth of information here. And just think, if you could shift your business so it was $5K a month, month after month after month after month, the value would certainly be more than $20,000, right? Well, I figured that maybe with the bonuses and including my time, there was probably about $5,000 in here. But I'm on a mission, you see, to help as many people. My personal mission is to help 1 million women build profitable businesses. So if I want to do that, I have to make it as easy as possible for women to have access. And so what I've created is, until midnight tonight, you actually get to pay for this program over 12 months, reducing the amount. So instead of $597 a month for 6 months, you get to pay it at $310 for 12 months. Okay. And I see somebody in the chat, to all panelists. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to type this in if I can do it. The link didn't work. The link didn't work. Diana Lidstone. Yeah, I spelled that right. Achievers Club. Okay. Diana Lidstone.com/shop/ This is where you go for the 12-month Achievers Club 2018/12/monthly. Oops. This one before I hit return. Payments with an S. There we are. So that is the link for that, or maybe you can copy and paste from the PowerPoint. I'm not sure. So this is a bonus that is available tonight, until midnight tonight. Make your first payment and online, and then we will talk about how you're going to make subsequent payments. Okay. So if you want to pay for it one time, it's $31.82, and then you actually save $500. I know there are some people who want to save money, so it's $500. You save $500. You want to pay for it monthly over 6 months? There you go. Or you can do the 12 months. Thanks, Karen. So you have the choice to choose what works best for you, because I totally believe that each one of you can do this. I know you can do this, okay? Decide which payment is right for you. That's all you have to do. And then go to the link. If you have any trouble, simply email me, or here, I'll give you my phone number. My phone number, my email, spell is my email. If you have any trouble, reach out to me. I'm here today. Actually, I'm going to be in Kingston this evening, but certainly no problem. Yes, hey Janet, thank you so much. I do have one more bonus if you just want to, and the first 5 people that sign up before this evening, before midnight, get a business acceleration session with me to use anytime during the 6 months. So imagine on top of all the bonuses that you've seen here, the scripts, the templates, the marketing magic, you get an extra 30 minutes with me anytime during the 6 months. So that is a bonus that you have. So the question I have for you, the question isn't, will I make my money back? You saw the case studies. You know that it is certainly possible. You will make your money back if you do the work. The question is, how many times over will you be able to crush it? How many times over will you be able to make your money back? I know that many of you saw the results of these people and you wonder, well, they're kind of fluke, but they're not. Every person who does the work in the Achievers Club gets amazing results. Some of them it takes a little longer, and that's okay. That's all right. Here's Antonio, bookkeeper, who worked with me for less than 90 days. She got clear on her dream client in Marketing Magic and changed her pricing totally so that she doubled her revenue. And as I say, there's 5 steps to 5K months. Here they are. You have the options. As early as Sunday, you could be working on your clarity map and then getting access to Marketing Magic online and start crafting your compelling marketing message so that you stand out from all the others in your industry. Today, I've offered you a very powerful strategy and framework. I don't want you to stay in that hustle zone. I don't want you to stay in that under-earning or that self-employment trap. I know what's possible for you. And I would be honored to be your guide through that process. Earlier, I promised you a gift, and I'm going to send this to you, Business Growth Checklist, 3 stages of business growth, and how to win at each stage. So you are going to get that. My question is, are you ready? Are you ready to live more and earn more, right? More freedom, more time, more yoga. Will you implement 2 or 3 strategies on your own, or will you take this information and just stuff it in the drawer? It's time to act, ladies. It is time to move your businesses forward. Here's the link again so that you can enroll. Because I believe success for you is just around the corner. And I want to thank you so much to all of those of you who stayed till the end. I know it was a long time, but I do appreciate it. Your time is valuable. I look forward to working with those of you who want to shift your business and who want to reach success. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.